Hey, Granny. I think she snuffed it, girls. Not rigor mortis yet, anyway.
Why don't you leave her alone, Lou?
Oh, keep going, girls. Not too fast, Bobby.
Oh, shut up, you stupid bitch. Can't you see I'm having a rest?
Oh, my arthritis has got me. Give us a hand, will you?
Don't look at us. Will you give her a hand, Lou?
Come on, you bag of bones.
Jeez, my legs are still giving me hell. We'll be right after we have some brekkie.
Oh, you look terrible, Jude. Keep it up, love. We've got a long way to go yet.
Shut up, Dot. You'll make her feel bloody worse.
Righto, ladies. All those not in the marathon off to muster.
But who's going to egg them on?
You could come back in your lunch break. Now move it out, will you? Come on, hurry up.
Keep it up, Alice. You're doing better than that cover larger carrying.
Kelly, move it.
Then when's brekkie? We're starving.
It is on its way.
Oh, beauty.
When does Judy get a break?
As soon as we have a shower.
Right, we'll go and have it straight away, will you?
Thanks. Thank you.
Hello, Joan.
Honey Joan!
Get back here. Jeffrey. I don't want you going anywhere near her. She's bloody dangerous.
She's not. She's a nice lady.
Oh, yeah, real nice. Does a nice job of bashing prisoners, too. Now, shut up and do what you're told.
Charming character.
It's not true, Jeffrey. I didn't bash anyone.
Oh, yes, I know, Joan, but cross your fingers. Let's hope the opposition don't use it anyway.
Well, I hardly see how it's relevant here.
Yes, I know, but it doesn't help our case, especially as we're claiming Monroe's violent. All the publicity you've had recently places you under the same suspicion, too, I'm afraid.
So you see, Your Worship, we're getting on real good now. One little talk about how everybody's got to have rules and he was a good kid. You know, did what I asked. He's a bright little fella. We're getting on like a house on fire. And don't let nobody tell you anything.
Thank you, Mr. Monroe. That will do.
Thank you, Your Worship. It's been an honour.
Just one moment, Mr. Monroe. We're not quite finished yet.
Sorry, sir.
One question, Mr. Monroe. If you're getting on like a house on fire, why did you offer to let Miss Ferguson have your son for $1,000 deposit?
Who told you that pack of lies? Huh? You don't want to believe a word that bitch says.
Mr. Monroe, I will not tolerate abusive language. Just answer Mr. Johnson's questions.
No. Of course I wouldn't do a thing like that. Couldn't, could I? I mean, he's my own kid.
Does that entitle you to maltreat and abuse him so badly he's forced onto the streets?
That's a load of bloody lies!
Your Worship, I have here a sworn statement from a doctor which will prove that the witness was charged on at least one occasion with the physical abuse of his son.
Maybe once or twice just to bring him into line. But at least I didn't bash him that bad until he died. And that's what your lily-white Miss Ferguson done, isn't it? Bash some poor bloody prisoner half to death!
Your Worship, that incident has not been proven. There's no relevance to this case at all.
Yes, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Monroe, you will contain your language. That's my last warning.
Oh, not more paperwork.
It's all right, it's all right. It's a doctor's report on Keane. She'll be rejoining the women in 24 hours.
Good.
Well, is it? I mean, what about Joan?
You can finish that filing later. Just take your break now, would you?
Rebecca's in danger from Miss Ferguson, isn't she?
Of course not. Now would you please do as I ask you?
But Mrs.
No,
Norris...
please.
Yes, Mrs. Reynolds.
Sorry. You weren't to know. And don't worry about Joan. We'll arrange something before King comes out of hospital.
Did you get any sleep at all last night?
Oh, a couple of hours. Stayed in isolation.
Oh, why? I mean, you know you're welcome at my place any time you like.
Yes, Meg, I know, and thanks. But until the marathon's over, I thought I ought to stay around and keep an eye on things. Oh, and I've arranged for someone to collect some clothes for me. Would you tell me when they arrive?
Right. Look, if you're worried about the women, wouldn't it be more logical to stay right away from the prison?
I don't know what's logical anymore.
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to upset you. Is there any news from the police?
You realize, of course, that it is most unusual for a single working woman to be granted permanent custody of a child.
Yes, I do.
The question is, can you adequately cope with a full-time job, plus the time necessary to provide for the child's psychological as well as physical needs?
Well, Shane would be my first priority, of course. But I'm quite certain that I would have no trouble in handling a job and providing a good home.
Now, Miss Ferguson, would you mind telling us what, to your mind, is the best way of disciplining a child?
Well, I believe children should be given strong guidelines to follow. And if they break those rules, then they should be punished. But not by beating. I have never beaten a child in my life, and I could never contemplate doing so.
Since Mr. Monroe had a court order restraining you from seeing Shane, the boy has returned to visit you on several occasions. Is this so?
Yes. We became very close when he was staying with me, and he found it difficult to understand why he couldn't see me. Your Worship, I know how the court feels about children staying with their natural parents, but I couldn't love Shane more if I were his real mother.
Would you?
Come on, ladies, file out. Oh, not you, Dot. The team members will be getting theirs in here.
Be buggered, that'll mean cold-boiled fish. I'm going to the dining room.
Oh, I'm going too. Give us a hand up, Lou. I don't care what Mrs. O'Regan's serving. I need a change of scenery.
Okay, but hurry up. Adams?
I'd rather sleep.
All right.
You're not giving up.
We're just going for a break.
Oh, good for you. They're doing well, aren't they? 19 and a half hours and we're still getting enormous coverage. Do you hear that, ladies? The public are behind you every step of the way.
You see, by law, you're not old enough yet to choose where you'd like to live. But that doesn't mean we don't consider your feelings on the matter. Do you understand that, Shane?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, would you like to remain with your father?
No way. I just want to live with Auntie Joan.
You're certain of that?
Yeah. I don't want to go back with him. When he gets drunk, he starts bashing me.
You lying little bastard!
Mr. Monroe!
Heard about me in
Mr.
public.
Monroe! Mr. Abbott, speak to your client, please.
Hi. Mrs. Morris said you wanted to see me about something.
Yes, Heather, sit down.
Is there something wrong?
Yes, there is.
If it's about the way I've been sounding off at Miss Ferguson, I think...
It's got nothing to do with Miss Ferguson. Now, please.
Sorry.
I've been speaking to the Governor of Blackmore. She sent me a statement from Mari Winter, which claims that you were in league with her in a drug smuggling racket while she was here, and also that you helped her escape. Now, what do you have to say?
Our custody cases are never easy for the parties involved. And I would like to point out that any decision made by the court has been arrived at with due consideration as to what is best for the child. Now, from the evidence brought before the court this day, it's my decision that Shane Monroe should not be returned to his father. However, Miss Ferguson, although I commend you highly for the care you've given Shane, I must tell you that I feel it's in the boy's best interest that he be made a ward of the state until suitable foster parents can be found.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again, but that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down, but the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love with me. just a nightmare. Waking up alone. On the inside, the roses grow. They don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.